just to remind anyone tuning in that we did have a round of four. We did have a group of four. We did have a GSL style, but two couldn't make it, so we're just going to be playing this one best of five. And Jack, would you take us in for the first intro on Coda?
Absolutely. From Endurance Esports, spawning in the top left, the purple Terran, it's EJK.
And his opponent, in the bottom right-hand corner, the red Terran player from, I believe it's Danger Gaming or Damage Gaming. I'm going to blank on it right here. Deadly Gaming, thank you. It is epic. What did we say? We were talking about this beforehand. Hawkeye was like, you know what? I'll be able to speak in your ear if you forget something. Like, yeah, I'm going to forget the team name. And like, oh. Funny thing, though, is I actually had it up on my other monitor, but it didn't quite occur to me to look. So I totally could have had it. Oh, man.
Well, you have at least one game more to try it out, and then at most 4 games more. I'm sorry, 2 and 4.
I can't do maths. So
maths on stream was actually a mistake. You're not actually supposed to use numbers or do maths on stream. It's one of those magical, alphabet. Important broadcaster rules that you say, wow, I'm going to build a barracks. Oh my God, it's a Macarax! It's a Macarax. Oh, blast from the past, excuse me. DrennoC, when did you start getting into StarCraft 2, man?
When I started getting into StarCraft 2, I don't know what a macro Rax is, so I'm going to say it was after that point. I started getting into it. I started getting to it like
M-A-K-A. M-A-K-A, okay. Man.
I thought you said macro.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't every Rax macro?
Yeah. Maka, whatever, however you want to. He was a Korean player. He played in the GSL, and he was the first person to do this. Basically, the idea of the Macarax is that you hide something that's normal, but it's specifically a barracks. So you get the barracks at a usual time. You're not doing any proxy stuff. You're not doing anything crazy. But your opponent comes in, scouts that you don't have a Rax there, and freaks out.
Scary.
Yeah.
I've actually done that a lot when I've played ZVZ on Moonlight Madness. Now, people scout me now because of this when they see me on ladder, but I'll throw my first hatch in the pocket base, whatever, just to throw them off, and now people scout it, but in the beginning, it was very, very scary. Thankfully, for EJK here, he's actually not going to go for the scout, so there's going to be no mind games going down here. Scout of Epic will get in.
No scouting at all. Wow.
Yeah. I love that. It's the anti-mind game. You know what? You can't out-mind game me if I don't see anything, so...
Yeah,
on the other hand, you almost could.
he's even lifting it up and moving it back.
If I don't scout, you will not... It's kind of like if I don't see you, you can't see me. If I can't see your DTs, that means you can't see me, right? That's how it works.
Yeah, we do have... It's one of the few situations where you get an edge over your opponent if you don't scout. He had to actually lift it up and bring it back home. That's hilarious.
Delaying maybe one Marine there. Thankfully for at least him, which is epic, EJK isn't going to do the most crazy aggression here. He is kind of doing the same thing last game. 1-1, and I presume both players are going to open up with Banshees, but still could deviate from here.
Yeah, for sure. You can go for the more aggressive play is obviously the Banshee first, because it's an attacking unit, can send it across the map. Or you can go for the more defensive Raven, or you can save some scan and go for a Viking. Either way, you kind of have option for most of those things. You could not do that, but very rare because you're building a tech lab. So Banshee or Raven first, and we see 2 Raven firsts. Again, it is a safe play. It kind of is the catch-all. It's useful in a lot of different situations, and it's one of those units where as long as you can keep it alive, you're going to get value out of that for the rest of the game.
Definitely, you're going to get value out of it, and even though the chat was saying, you know what, epic, awesome player, whatever, as Jack and I mentioned, we don't know that much about him, and I'm sure EJK has played epic before, but with these kind of safe openers, either they don't know much or they're afraid of the aggression, but they're very safe TVT openers, as you said. And it's kind of funny because I feel like this is period the TVT opener where people are like, oh, I keep dying to this. We'll just do this. You see DTs, you see anything invisible, you have anti-Banshee, just whatever. You're good. You're set. Both players will be doing that. K's natural, though, is going to be a little more delayed. And this is almost exactly game 1. Being very, very careful. He's going to be going mech. Doesn't want to be too aggressive and pump out extra Marines on accident. Or too defensive, I guess.
Yeah,
have to defend
for
something.
sure. Yeah, I'm wondering if we're gonna see the same thing from EJK as last time. Just a lot of patience and only 2 drops basically that did all of his damage for him. We saw that Epic was sort of reacting mid-game to, splitting more instead of just running away. So maybe we'll see that kind of a learning. Learning is good. We may see that a little bit better. Is that block for the potential super duper late? Oh, we do have Cloak coming out. Excuse me. We have Cloak and a Banshee coming out for Epic, so he's going to be a little bit more aggressive with this. Generally speaking, when you go for Cloak, you will be going for 2 Banshees, because it takes about 2 Banshees worth of time to get Cloak.
Kind of looking at EJK's position here against that, and yes, he's got an engineering bay, he's got a decent amount of stuff, but with this small push coming out of Epic, not that he'd forget about it, but he may in turn kind of, as he's defending, not throw down a missile turret, whatever, allowing a little bit of an opportunity for the Banshee, but both EJK and Epic are going to be doing this. EJK is much quicker. He does like his mech build, so he's going to get the quicker. Oh, the Widowmine is going to go off with the tank, bringing it down to only 35 health. These Hellions
Widowmines do so much damage. Oh my god.
They do. What I'd wish, I've seen this every time I see Widowmine go off, that it did friendly fire damage if it was really close, as in like to itself, if a Marine was right on top of it when it went off, that it would kill itself because it's a mine. It dies.
Yeah, well, I mean, originally, long ago, the mine actually was more like a spider mine where it just exploded, it popped out of the ground and chased you and exploded.
I know they also tried something.
Oh my god, he sat on top of the Widow mine again, and now he's just gonna go home. Oh, that is a huge mistake. He knew exactly where the Widow mine was. It already had hit him, and it let him hit it again all over those Marines. And not only did it kill a bunch of stuff, but everything is in the red now, and he is in full retreat. EJK taking this opportunity to move forward. Oh my god, these Hellions are absolutely going to kill everything just by themselves. They don't even need to worry about the tank. They're like, what, a tank? I can roast that with my flames. I'm totally fine. Everything going down immediately. EJK smelling blood in the water is going to be moving forward here. We really need a defensive position set up by Epic. He needs to siege up his tanks and take control of the air.
Epic with this early third base, it's gonna go down here, and I think the reason why his units were on top of that Widow mine was because he was actually microing at home trying to kill that one Banshee, but the Banshee ends up, it gets like 3 or 4 kills here, whatever, but now the Banshee of Epic is desperately trying to get himself back, but I don't know if Epic has enough to defend at home, period. There's just so much air control here for EJK, and man, this is looking grim for Epic in Game 2 of Best of 5 series. It's not where you want to be then. Oh, Siege Tank doesn't quite die here. At first, when those units were caught out of position, I thought Epic was going to go for kind of a surround that he almost could with those injured damaged units, but man, EJK was right on top of it. As you said, he smelled blood in the water, saw it, and he's got such a commanding position now.
All right, so he's got this super weak tank. He's trying to keep it alive here, but still in a very aggressive position. He is going to use repair. He's going to have his setup here. He's got 3 tanks. It's pretty good. His air control is not exactly where he'd like it to be. That one Viking is super duper weak right now. If he could repair it, he'd be in a lot better position. But he has the tank advantage here, so he should be able to hold for the time being. The problem is, back at home, we have EJK gearing up for his third base. We almost have a sort of soft contain here from EJK, keeping him his map control and allowing him to get that economic lead with the third base.
For now, if EJK can get the third base up, just hold that, get SCVs there, he's going to be in a phenomenal position, because not only has he denied his opponent, actually, these Vikings will be so careful right here. Lots of Marines to the ground will actually kill them, but only 2 Vikings get down, and now SCVs, everything is being pulled, and nothing is sieged up for EJK. He's going to lose almost his entire army. The only thing that gets away is the Raven. It's going to be hunted down by this Viking, and Epic kind of just takes it back right there.
Yeah, really good patience from Epic there. Just waited for the right moment for EJK to make a mistake, and EJK moved in a little bit overconfident. Thought he could take that fight, but just really good use of just kind of dealing with the things as they came. The Vikings came in, he moved his Marines up to deal with them, but stayed out of the tank range. The units came in, he dropped the auto turrets and pulled his SCV, so he kept the damage away from his tanks and let his tanks do the damage during that whole battle. Allowed him to basically... Oh man, is he gonna run to the Widow mine again?
Oh
okay.
Man, he's
right.
splitting Marines.
Splitting it off. Okay.
God.
You remembered.
Vikings will be the last-ditch attempt, at least offensive for EJK, but maybe this Widow mine will get it. For now, the Vikings need to be up in the air to deny Epic's Banshee or his own Viking. But for here, Epic has got himself into a much better position. Actually, they potentially could be surrounded with Vikings. EJK, he's good. Gonna try to kill something here. Nice scan, by the way. I believe that was by Epic. Looking if he can move up the ramp. Sees EJK's got what? A siege tank, 2 Hellions. This is looking grim. SCV's gonna have to be hold, or at least held to heal the siege tank.
Yeah, he's got tank on the high ground, but don't think it's going to be enough. Despite all the low hit point units over here, it's going to be really tough. He does move over to the side, and we've got a little bit of a movement here. Oh, I don't know about landing those Vikings, though. That was a bit maybe missed times, hoping to draw shots. He's going to move in. He's going to pull, and actually, I think he's going to be able to take this out. The Marines finally going down, and he has defended, but, you know, the caster question, at what cost? He is majorly behind in all aspects of the game. He's got a lot of money in the bank right now.
He's literally down 30 workers. It's 60-30 here, and Epic has put himself in a phenomenal position. EJK is desperately trying to get out an armory. He either needs upgrades, he needs hellbats, he needs something to just contest with this bio. And I don't really know if he can right here. Desperately, EJK is trying to get out of the siege tank, trying to get his third. And this game is kind of turned, or at least this series has turned in from one where EJK looked really, really good into one where actually, I mean, Epic is starting to fight back here. And is that my internet or what's going on there? Visor, is that Jak? Jak, oh, Jak. Jak is the Visorogenic. I don't know, his Skype just went out, so sadly not quite there for the next couple seconds, but man, Epic is taking it back. A little bit of a sidestep by EJK will give Epic the lead, and Epic is not only on his third base, but his fourth base is on the way, as you guys can see in the bottom left minimap. I don't know if we're still looking at the game, but I hope we are, because I'm like totally leaned into my mic. Hopefully Jak will be... Okay, yeah, I was saying, hopefully Jak is going to be back. He may actually time out... Oh, Jak left thing. I guess Skype's not quite on. I guess I will solo cast the end of this game. For now, though, EJK will be holding at least with 3 siege tanks. He's got enough now to actually push back this bio. The bio can't directly move into it, but desperately EJK, he needs a little bit more air control. He's got some Vikings out to just get enough range for the siege tanks to actually do damage onto the Marine bio. And there, JaKaTaK's back, but doing something else, checking out his internet, whatever, but looks like, oh, EJK is going to be aggressive, moving out with these Hellions, will almost get a couple of kills here, trying to bait the Marine, or trying to bait the bio into the siege tank shots, but right now EJK is only on 2 base, down by 30 workers to his opponent's 4 base. This is looking very, very grim in game 2. EJK is up 1-0 at the moment, may I remind you, so Epic will be able to even this up, and now a big Hellion move out by EJK, as he can try to get a position, or is not going to try to go for a different angle on Epic's main bioforce. Instead, EJK is just going to push out across the map, try to do some damage to his opponent. I mean, if your opponent doesn't split SCVs, why not? And especially with how many Hellions does he have there? He has a total of 7 Hellions moving across the map. Oh, actually, these Hellions get straight into the mineral line of the bottom left-hand third base, and they're going to just try to decimate the SCVs here. Not going to get that many kills here, though. Bio is right there on top of it. Siege tank there, but 14 workers do end up going down in total. All the Hellions sacrifice themselves now, and that's a little bit sucky for... not even sucky. It's a little bit bad for EJK because he needs some more AoE versus this mass bio force of Epic here. Epic's pulling out, allowing EJK to secure the third, but off the back of this, as I mentioned a little earlier, Epic already has his 4th up. Not only does he have a 4th up, but it's a planetary, and 2-2 is on the way. He's looking so strong after a couple missteps from EJK here, and Epic's looking to maybe end the game right here. He's got a chokehold on the 3rd, something moving into the natural, and maybe going for a draw. EJK does know about the main force kind of moving up and accumulating together. Currently, it is 60 army supply of EJK to the 104 of Epic. Oh, Epic moving into this missile turret field. Has to be super careful here. Will lose all the medevacs, but there's a decent amount of bio right now in EJK's main, and he's got to pull to be able to deal with this. Epic, at the same time, Epic's going to be maybe looking to make something happen in the 3rd, and there's not that many siege tanks here. In the main, though, I mean, still, Epic is doing a lot of damage. EJK is actually going to... Nope, not going to defend the 3rd base at all. There's the JJ! Epic takes game 2, even up 1-1, and a couple missteps by EJK, and doing not even a doom drop, just a tri-pronged. It's not the multi-pronged, because we all think 2. It was a tri-prong attack.
Yes, the pitchfork attack, very powerful on the Reddits and in StarCraft, almost as powerful as lagging out in the middle of the game. Hopefully, my lagging out didn't cause them too much trouble, but I'm just going to jump back into StarCraft. I live in Atlanta, Georgia with Polton Violet, and you would think living in a pro gaming house, you've got great internet. No, we don't. We have awful internet. Comcast is awful, so if you want to write them a letter and say, hey, Comcast, stop being awful, feel free to go ahead and do that.
Will do. Do you actually live with Polton Violet?
I do. I
Oh,
do.
that's cool. Didn't realize that. I
Yeah, I
feel
work
like
for CSN.
I don't actually know what that is, the acronym.
It's okay. CSN is Cyber Sports Network. It's a esports media company,
Okay.
and it's owned by the same person
Plug
who
it.
manages Polton Violet, and we
All
all
right.
live here. A couple new products coming out. We will have a website launching relatively soon. We'll also, if you're familiar with Training Camp, which has been a year in the
Ooh.
making, it will be coming out very, very, very soon. I'm actually rendering one of the episodes while this is happening on the other computer, which you can actually see in the screenshot over here.
Are you the producer of that, or like what do you do? What do you do with that? I've heard of it a lot at the training camp, not cramp, training cramp.
Training cramp. You hate to have training cramps because then it makes it difficult to run. If you're swimming, you could drown. Be careful. Make sure you wait at least
If
30
you're
minutes
playing
after eating
StarCraft,
before
you
swimming.
lose.
You
Ugh.
lose hand cramp. Oh, I can't
Oh, that'd
micro,
be
and
terrible.
then you're dead. It's the worst.
Oh man, that sounds terrible. Like as a StarCraft player myself, playing and then that happening, like I'll desperately. I feel like what happens is I try to hit enter. I try to tell my opponent like, wait, pause. Then I'm like holding my hand, like using my face to smash against the keyboard to pause it.